RebelRunSports.com. I'm John Moore.
I'm Rob Giampapa. This week on our Women in Sports series, 7 on 7, we went out to Fairfax High School and talked to DSA Nancy Melnick.
Check it out. Nancy, how did you first become involved in sports?
Into sports? I just think I grew up, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, a dad and mom that always encouraged us to get outside and run around and participate on, different teams. And we went from season to season, from swimming to tennis to, my brothers played football, and then we went into basketball, baseball, softball, you name it, we played it. And just kind of was always a part of my life and people in my family's life, and it just kind of made sense.
How did you get from athletics into your athletic administration career?
So for me, I had coached for a while. I was a varsity girls basketball coach, varsity girls lacrosse coach, and I worked at a lot of different schools, pretty blessed, had a lot of great directors of student activities that I got to work for. And I think about like that 17, 18, 19 year mark, I was kind of, I think it's time to maybe switch roles. And again, I had so many great people that helped me along the way. I thought it was maybe time for me to help some of the younger coaches coming in, and it just kind of made sense. And I got really lucky. In 2005, I stopped coaching, and Tim Gordon, who was my predecessor and my mentor, really took me under his wings and gave me opportunities. And it just kind of made sense, felt right, and I'm at a great school, good people, so it's just kind of really worked out really well for me.
You played for Coach Deegan. How was the hiring process with the shoe on the other foot?
Well, first off, it was a great hire. When our former coach stepped down, Coach was the first person that came to mind, that if we were lucky enough to get him, for him to come out of retirement, I just knew that, I felt like he would be a good fit here. We have a good working relationship. I knew that our kids loved basketball and wanted to be taught, and he's such a great teacher of the game, so it just kind of made sense that I would maybe put the full court press on him to get him to come out of retirement. Didn't take much though, and he interviewed, and everybody loved him, and our principal thought he'd be a great hire too, and it just really worked out great. I can tell you, my buddies and my family members were very excited that when I hired him, the first thing that came to mind to them was that I was now Coach Deegan's boss. So that got a lot of people real happy.
In your career path, was there any challenges as a woman that you might not have had as a man?
That's a good question. No, I didn't feel any, no. Again, I worked for Tim Gordon that, again, just kept providing me with opportunities. Tim was always the type that, I'm going to give you opportunities and you're kind of in charge of your fate. If you want this, I'm going to give you opportunities to go get it. And I don't think it had anything to do with, female, male, female, or anything. He provided opportunities for people at this school, and I was lucky enough to be one of those people.
With the explosion of sports in Northern Virginia, is there any added pressure?
I don't really feel the pressures. I mean, I try to hire good coaches that are going to work hard for our kids, provide opportunities for our kids. I hope I don't put pressure on them that they have to win. To me, I want kids to have fun. I want kids to enjoy it. As I told you earlier, I was involved in a lot of different things, and I actually liked high school. And I want our kids to like the extracurricular. To me, it's the other half of their education. And, I want them to enjoy it.
As a DSA, who do you lean on for advice?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's been great the last 2 years having Coach Deegan in the building. He has been a mentor for 30 years. I do feel like our principal, Dave Goldfarb, supports us, supports our coaches, and he's been a nice sounding board. Nice thing about him is he coached. He was a girls soccer coach while he was teaching, so he's been there. So he helps put things in perspective. I'm pretty lucky that I've got I've got a couple of really good guys on my staff that help, and I also talk to my own family members. They're definitely give me that other perspective of parents, and they have kids, so it gives me something else to think about here and there. But I would say between my principal and the guys that help me in the office, I've been pretty blessed. I would say that that's probably something that I think is kind of hard for me. It's different than the assistant principals. There's 4 or 5 assistant principals in every building, so they can, talk with each other. Hey, how would you handle this situation? And there's only one DSA in every building, so that does make it challenging at times. But I do think there's a nice camaraderie that I could pick up the phone and call anybody, and they would talk to me for a while on the phone. And hey, well, I haven't had that situation, Nancy, but this is how I dealt with something similar, and that's nice, or I could send an email, hey, do you got a minute to talk? And people do that. So I've been able to form some nice friendships and with some of the colleagues that have helped me.
What's the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part? Gosh, there's some long days. There's some long weeks. So that makes it tough at times. I was at a game last night, and gosh darn it, our soccer kids played their hearts out, played so great. Great high school soccer game. And I think the other team scored with maybe 2 to 3 seconds left. And just seeing the kids, and they're upset and they're crying, and you just want to, support them and help them. That makes it tough, because it's just tough. But long days is probably the big thing for me that makes it difficult.
What's next for the future of athletics and the athletic department at Fairfax High School?
I want to keep hiring really good coaches, and I feel like we're on a roll right now. I'm really thrilled, as we've already talked about, Coach Deegan. It's interesting when you can tell when he's in the building, because some of the coaches start flocking to him. And I love seeing that. So I want to keep hiring the coaches that can be mentors, and also coaches that want to learn. Know that I still have mountains to climb, and I'm not going to be afraid to go pick people's brains so I can get better, so then I can help kids. So I think that's something that's been real important to me, is making sure we hire really good coaches that will help kids. And I think that's probably a short-term and a long-term goal for me.